Hey guys, welcome back to the Psychic Sleuth channel. Um, I just wanted to pull some cards for the two missing women in Kansas. Jilian is her name, Jilian and Veronica. These cards are a little confusing, and cards are new to me, so I'm not like this professional card pooler. I just started getting back into it. I normally do my mediumship first or Autowrites first, but let me tell you, I've been exhausted today for some reason. I think that the eclipse has really got me in my energy because I was actually going to work on Caleb, and I ended up falling asleep on the couch. And I've been falling asleep a lot lately, so between that, I still have a cough and I'm still trying to get over my cold. I feel like I kind of went backwards. So I wanted to tap in and just see what the cards said on this. And I might totally misperceive these, but cards and tools are always a extension of you. So I might totally misperceive these cards, but I'm just going to tell you what I got. They're really freaking weird. It's hard without a mediumship reading. And whenever I pull cards, it's like I don't usually get a whole lot off of it. I can, and I have gotten visions of locations. I've also gotten visions of, things that have happened during the card pulling, but it's not a normal way that I tap in. I usually have to get a little bit deeper. So this is for entertainment purposes only. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty. I just wanted to kind of, again, pull these cards, tap in, because I couldn't do a full-on reading. And I know a lot of people complain when I do the cards, like, because you're a medium, you don't have to do them. I understand that, but sometimes it's easier for me. It's not as draining to do them, and it's better for me to kind of look at it sometimes and be like, huh, okay. It's not going to change from what my reading's going to be. My reading's still going to be what it's going to be whenever I get to that, if I get to that before they're found. But I felt like a really strong pull to this for some reason. Like I needed to do it right away. And I don't know if that's because I don't know if these visions that I've been having, who they have to do with. I don't know if it has to do with them. I don't know if it has to do with somebody else, but I'm just going to say I'm already kind of explained them on the live. So the one vision was of a tractor moving dirt, and in the background, I could see oil rigs or those oil things that go up and down. But it was like way, way in the background. So it felt, I don't know where that goes. I also felt like I was running through the woods. This place doesn't look like it has any woods. I haven't looked at the map because I don't like to look at the map till I'm done with all my readings. But I felt like I was seeing through someone else's eyes, and I was literally running, and I could see myself pushing the branches out of the way, like I was escaping, trying to get away, and someone was chasing me. Now, again, I don't know if that has anything to do with this, but I want to mention those things because I do get things before they happen. So before I will get a case, in cases choose me, I don't choose them. So I appreciate, when people ask me to do a case, but everything has timing. So I'll go where spirit leads me, and, I'll keep in mind the cases that you guys suggest, but I'm always going to follow where spirit leads me. Cases choose me, I don't choose them. And one of my cases will lead to another through interconnects. No different than with Audrey. I got every single case that I worked after that. I got a piece of it in hers for an interconnect. So I could be getting these random visions because there's something to do with a case that's coming up. And all of a sudden my cat wants to just jump on these cards and mess everything up. I don't really understand these cards, honestly. And I don't know much about the case. There isn't much to know. They've kept everything really quiet. And it's a rural town. That's all I know. And I do know, and I just heard. That's kind of what made me kind of tap into this, is that they were actually on their way to go check on the children. It was some kind of like CPS thing. Like they knew each other, but they weren't like friends. They were headed to like an appointment. That's all I know. Allegedly, from what I've heard. Okay. So this is all alleged, my opinion only, not factual. And like I said, I may misperceive the cards. I'm going to try to perceive them the best I can. And I'm getting a headache all of a sudden. There's something weird about this. Like, The cards are weird on this. Like, really, really weird. One second. I'm going to put my extra camera up. Hopefully it's still on. Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. There we go. All right. It's so weird. Okay, I'm just gonna basically tell you what the cards are. There's some kind of, either they were drugged, or this involves drugs, allegedly. But I get the kidnapped card. Obviously, we know because they're not with their vehicle. The rope card sometimes comes in with the kidnap card. So that can mean they're tied up, or it could be symbolic for being kidnapped as well. Remember that cards are not always literal, just like visions are not always literal. But see, there's some kind of... I can always take this as a drug card. Sometimes I know it says toxic food shortage. Sometimes it's like a drug shortage, or it's just a drug card for me. That's how it usually comes in. And then poison can also be a type of drug as well. Or it can be taken as symbolic. This is a poisonous situation. You know what I mean? Accident, which they could have been made, it could have been made to look like an accident, or they were put into an accident in some way, but there was an assault that happened. And again, the hit and run card, so that could involve another vehicle, or it could have been made to look that way. I have a hard time, for some reason, I did not pull a female card, but for some reason it feels like it has something to do with that, with the mom. I don't know if she's involved, or if it just has something to, it connects to her in some way. Because my attention keeps going to her for some reason. Imprisonment, so it could be being held somewhere for at least some time. And they are still missing. I got the alive card, which is a good, it's a good card to get, but it could just be they were alive, and then maybe someone tried to escape, but then we get the poison card again. So I pulled this card before. I'm not really sure. The suicide card and the accident card. When I was shuffling these cards and I was pulling these cards, my mind kept going to the female mom. So I don't know if it's because of her or because she's involved in some way. And that might not be literal. Like, it might be like, I don't know, because then we have a hijacked card. There's more than one person involved in this according to these cards. So she could have had an accomplice, or someone could be an accomplice. So there's fire too, so that could be something burned at some point. Natural object, hand, fist. So I'm just wondering if there wasn't a fight that occurred in the car. The drug card again. There's something, either they were drugged or involving drugs. I don't know. I'd be curious why the CPS was going to check on this mom, if she has some sort of habit or something in her background. I never like to point fingers or anything like that. I don't know if eventually it's going to end up in this, but this card I pulled, I put it back and then I kept seeing it. So I don't know if it's that yet, though. I keep wondering if this is that. I don't know if there's any woods around there, though. If that was a running that I saw. These are weird because according to these cards, it kind of looks like it's someone that's connected. Like, we have family dynasty. So connected to her family. And we have the devil card. We have a hiding out card. You can take the hijacked as like anybody can be hijacked. They could be in the car with them and hijack the person, the person that they're with, or they could have been hijacked. We have terrorism. I always take that as if someone's being terrorized. Reptilian is snake in the grass. Royalty, so maybe somebody you wouldn't expect. A thief, if some way they were stolen or kidnapped, that would mean a thief. But the weird thing is the parental figure. We have a parental figure. So, I mean, you could take this parental figure as any parental figure. I mean, it shows a male, so you could take that as an ex or a dad. And then we have the friend. So it could be the friend of a parental figure, the way that came up, because we have the child card. So I'm just wondering about who the ex is, or the dad. Because I feel like this is involving her kids in some way. Because you have accomplice, so more than one person's involved. Law enforcement may know about them, or they could connect. But sometimes I always pull the law enforcement card, so it just makes me wonder if it's because law enforcement's involved. I tend to pull that. There's a bad guy, and it's going to be someone that's tall or big. Anyway, they could be big or tall. That's how I usually take the giant card. It's big in some way. And then we have the bloodline card. So there's someone bloodline connected to, this is an organized crime. They can be connected to organized crime. I don't know. It's kind of a rural area. Or it could just not be literal and not be, just be an organized crime. But which, Gone Without a Trace, it kind of is. It has that serial killer energy. So not a good guy, not a good person. Con man, someone that, might pretend they're a good person but aren't. See, and then we have family. And we have a child terrorist, other people involved, and acquaintance. So it's got to be an acquaintance or a friend too. I feel like there's more than one energy involved. And I don't know until I tap in and do a mediumship reading if that means like her and someone else, or because the parental figure card comes up. So then we have the parental figure, the friend, and the child. The child makes me feel like it's, someone that connects to the children, or because it come in twice. It could be someone that's younger too. Sometimes I'll get the child card if it's someone that's a younger person. Not older, or it could involve the child. I'm having a hard time making sense of this because I don't know. Does she have an ex? Sorry. I mean, drugs came in a lot of times in this. So and poison did too. So drug and poison card came in twice. So it feels like it involves either they were drugged and taken, or it has to do with that. Like it's surrounding the situation. I wonder what this girl was into, because they were, we had her going with CPS. And my head keeps hurting every time I try to do this. There's definitely some head trauma with something, but my mind keeps going back to it being because the mom. But it's almost like it's because it's involving the children, if that makes sense. That's the way that it's coming across. I don't know if I'm making sense. I didn't pull a female card, so I can't say if she's involved, but we have the bloodline card. So that would be someone that connects by blood to the children or her. So, and we got the family card and the family dynasty card. So that would be someone that connects, like parental figure, friend. So if she has like the father of the children, if they're not together anymore and they're friends, but like if they didn't want the children taken away, that's just kind of, I feel like it's for some reason it surrounds that situation or the reason why the lady was with her. Okay, I'm gonna pull some more cards and keep going. Sorry, I know it's confusing, but these cards are really confusing, especially since I haven't done a reading yet. I will work on trying to do a reading, but Caleb was supposed to be next. I feel super nauseous all of a sudden. Super nauseous and my head hurts. This is an odd situation. The one thing I can't tell right now is until I do a reading is if I never like to say if anybody is alive or deceased, because sometimes it's hard to read the energy. Sometimes it's hard to tell. That's one thing. I never want to be known as Sylvia Brown. I got that wrong. So, we always hold out hope until I'm actually absolutely sure. These cards are weird. Because it shows like, well, we have the home card, which they were leaving from home, but it could be someone's home or not far from home. Private property. I mean, they could be being held on somewhere, or at some point they were. The beach doesn't necessarily have to mean like beach. It could be like just a sandy area. No. The bone card is kind of not great. Usually I get that when they'll be found when they're bones, or someone will be. Portal, because they just vanished. I get that with vanishing. It's almost like they entered a portal, because with mountains, I don't know if there's mountains like in the background out there or hills. You can get that as hills, not necessarily mountains. Power supply hidden outside. Burial. I just don't know. Inside to a tunnel. I don't know if there's a church nearby. I keep getting stuff with fire, so I don't know if somebody burned something or there's neighborhood. I have the vehicle card, which makes sense. They would have had to have left in a vehicle. Mountains again, or heels, I guess. They were stored somewhere. Like if they were stored alive somewhere, because I don't think like they were unalived right in that area. I feel like random area. You keep getting the buried card though. Basement. They could have been held in the basement. I don't know if there's any water out there. It could be near water, near a public area, city, above ground. I haven't looked at the area, so I get a lot of like desolate fields and stuff like that. So I don't even know if any of these cards make sense. I definitely need to do a mediumship reading. Like I know this isn't being very helpful. I might not even release this because I'm not getting much as I'm doing it. For some reason, as I'm shuffling this, like it comes across as they could possibly still be alive and being held somewhere, but it could be that the plan is, well, or at one time. I'd like to know where the father's dad was. Where the kid's father was. Because it's almost like I keep getting a reference to like someone pacing back and forth and having two hostages, but it's like I don't, you know what I mean? Like that's what I keep getting, but I don't know if it's going to continue that way. Okay, so we'll get deeper into this with more cards and see if we can figure out what's going on, because this seems to involve a relationship, but also I keep picking up there's stuff not right about, I hate to say this, the mom. I don't know which one is which. I don't know if that's Veronica or the other one. It feels like it's connected to her in some way. Now I don't know if she's involved, but I feel like in some way it's connected to her. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it's connected to one of the women. I don't know which one is the one that has red hair. That's kind of who I keep getting. So this is like super weird. There's a distraction going on. There was a warning of some sort. I wonder, there's someone with mental health issues. So I wonder what they were checking up on the kids for. Because they keep picking up like certain things around mom that's not. We have a cleanup. Some sort of jealousy involved. Love. Money. Some kind of secret. Blackmail. We have the fair card. Egotism. Someone's ego was hurt. Some kind of evidence, which I feel like the car has a lot of evidence. There's digital evidence. But this is, see, the inside job card. I can't shake the feeling that in some way, shape, or form, it connects to the mom. And that's why the inside job is coming in at. I don't know if this was an attempt to keep her kids or and then someone helped her with it. I don't know, because the inside job would mean someone that's like in someone that's involved, that's in the situation. Because my thoughts keep going to her. It's either because of her or she's... I'll show you why. This is solved eventually. There's a witness of some sort. Also, I don't know what somebody does for work. We got evil corporation here. There's some work cards here too. There's some communication. And there's lies. And someone is being watched. So it could be that this could have something to do with, them watching the mom and, her having to go through some stuff for the kids. But it could also be someone was watching them. So we have regret, corruption. And this is throwing me the stage card. Stage card and inside job. I mean, you know what I mean? I'm having a hard time saying that, but flight risk, prophecy. See, we have the weird science and the party card. So again, the weird science card to take is drugs. There's some kind of drugs involved, whether she was on them or she was it's involved somewhere. collapse, protection, government, unseen danger. That goes with the whole situation. Like healing. Something, the time is off. Karma passion card. Some sort of paper trail. This situation is so weird. Curse. Breakup. Greed. Obviously travel, because they were traveling. But maybe they, there's a secret trip to wherever they were taken. We have the perversion, crime of passion. That's interesting. Loyal. Premeditated. Abuse and neglect. I don't know if that's the kids or if that's someone in her past, because it looks like there's someone that was in love with. I just wonder about the ex. I don't know. Intoxication. So someone was drinking or likes to drink. Intuition. There was a meeting of some sort. Secret weapon. That could be something that was used to subdue them. There's surveillance somewhere. See, and then here's the dating card. Strategy. There was strategy in the way that this was all done. Someone's taken the power over the situation. There's going to be legal proceedings. Or there was legal proceedings. So I don't know if there was legal proceedings with the children. There's going to be false accusations. Fraud. With work. That's going to be exposed. Any delays in this. Some false flags going up. I feel like there's a struggle. There's a struggle at the car. Someone lying. There was a war. That's how I take it. Like, there was a war probably at the car. Someone is fired. You tell us take that as a breakup card. There's an incoming message. A message of some sort. Cover up. But then the truth comes out. I'm telling you, this is weird. I can't get my mind off of the mom for some reason. It's either revolving around her or involving her, or that the inside job card. There's something. This is something about the kids. Like, that's where my mind keeps going. Kids, maybe legal proceedings, losing the kids. I wonder where the children's father is, because I guess she was remarried, and it was like a new husband. So I don't know where her other ex is. This is getting weirder by the moment. Sorry, I really don't want to think that this mom is involved, and I could be completely wrong on that, but it's coming across. We got the inside job, and I keep going to her. I think I got her name. I need to look. We have break-in, which obviously they took the car. Confession. Someone was spying. There's the watch card kind of thing again. Government. I mean, if they bring in the government. Phone evidence. These two cards come in together. Again, alcohol. So someone was drinking or intoxicated or liked to drink. But we have setup. And I have guilty. So guilty of setup. So it's almost like that lady was set up. Someone's on the run because of it. Planted evidence. A car or whatever else. The phone call message. There was a secret. We have an argument, which jail and planned. So someone's going to go to jail. It was planned. It looks like there was an argument. Like I said, this feels like it's involving the kids. This feels like it's involving like maybe the kids being taken away or an argument that they had. but there's a second party involved. Oh, this is weird. Okay, so we have a gift in the case, which there's going to be some sort of gift. Something's going to come out. We have a gift. So what I keep getting is I keep getting a lot of dirt. But for some reason, I only see one woman as possibly. There's a reference to a road and a lot of dirt. It's like almost like I keep getting like a 2-lane road and like not far off the road. But I'm not, for some reason, I'm only seeing one. There's a man. Oh, well, it says wealthy man. Adjudication is some kind of court proceedings. Concern. Courtship again. So there's something with dating journey. They were on a journey where they were going. Community. The false person is interesting. She's got red hair, but I find this kind of interesting. There's a woman with red hair and there's a man behind her with a mask on. So this card is getting my attention because one of the lady, I think it's Veronica. I think it's the mom that has red hair. I'm not sure. I don't know who's who. Like I said, I don't know much about this. But then we have a man in the background with a mask on. So this is somebody that I feel like is involved that maybe we don't know about. I don't know if there was an affair going on. But again, this comes across as this has something to do with, because it has something to do with a child. The marriage is weird. I don't know. Is she having an affair? Who is having an affair? Distance horizons. It's almost like someone's running, and that's why the flight risk was coming in. My chest hurts really bad. Thoughts. Message of concern. Older man. Another message. So there's something about a message. Expectation. Courthouse. So again, legal stuff. Privileged lady. Official person. And imprisonment. So someone's going to end up in jail over this. Or it could be someone's being imprisoned right now. Or was at some point. I don't know why I only see like one kind of off the side of the road. It's kind of weird. I'm telling you, there was an argument that was going on. It's interesting. So there's bad habits. So again, there's drugs around this. There's alcohol around this. So I don't know what the mom was into and why they were checking out for her kids. Because there's also the bad habit card that I just pulled. Okay. So there's addictions. And there's someone that says things that makes stuff up. It feels like there was an argument with the girls. But then there's also this person there's this third party that's, you know, in love with one of them or having an affair or, there's a setup. Grudge holder. Someone that's holding a grudge. Rejected. Screenshots. So someone was getting evidence in screenshots. Someone was threatening. Sad, hurt, upset. See, there's a romantic affair here somewhere. Unbothered. But this is really getting me. The wolf in sheep's clothing. This is someone that shouldn't be trusted, no different than the reptilian. Like, obviously, there's addictions and stuff as well that's involved. Running. So they're running, you know, someone's running after this. Bankrupt, something to do with money. Stalker. That would go with the watch card. So we can have a stalker that was watching, but I wonder about the ex, because the parental figure, the family, all of that, the bloodline, the child, was the ex stalking the mom. is he involved in alcohol and drugs? So I'd like to know more about the ex, but I also feel like there was some sort of argument with the two girls in the car, because we have karmic friends. Like, you can't fully trust them. Secret competition. Keep your friends closer, your enemies closer. That tells me that they were acquaintances, but maybe the one didn't trust the other. Drama starter. Moving or leaving. Okay. Fake smiles. So someone is being very fake in this situation. Someone that's online, cyberbullying. See, and then we have carless, because obviously now the car was left. That car was left. But see, we have girl fight. Arguments, physical fight, at war, competing. And I'm telling you, I've got a bad headache. I feel like there was some kind of argument with those two too. It's kind of weird. I'm having a hard time. Broke ass. I'll tell you in a minute. Moving on. She was moving on. So it's kind of weird. It's almost like I'm getting two situations. Well, two situations here. It's almost like we have somebody that's moving on from someone that's they're stalking, and there's a crime of passion involved here. But then there's also the girls are not getting along. They're fighting. And there's also drugs and alcohol surrounding this. Someone that likes to party a lot. We have a happiness hater. Groupie. There's an offer of something. Travel. So there's going to be traveling. Someone's obviously running after this. Fake accounts. Someone's talking crap. Wasting time. Ignoring. So she could have been ignoring someone. Someone could have been ignoring someone. It's confusing. There's so many energies involved. Always partying. So that goes along with the drugs and the alcohol that I keep getting. So it's interesting because it comes across as someone that was watching and stalking and all of that, which they could have been stalking to do this. It feels like it. Then it feels like these two girls like got in an argument or a fight at some point too. And for some reason, it's almost like I feel like, we have the inside job, we have the setup. That really gets to me right there, if you guys can understand what I'm saying. The ball was going off when I was shuffling cards, when I was pulling cards, and I tried to turn it on, but I missed it. So this is really, because obviously there was an argument and a girl fight, but then we have someone that was like stalking, and there's a crime of passion. We have the parental figure, we have the family line, we have the family, the bloodline. So that says it's someone that connects to, like, when you keep pulling the child card. So this revolves around the children in some way, shape, or form. But it's almost like I get like animosity between these girls, or a conflict is what I just heard. And they might have had an argument, and I feel like there was some kind of physical altercation at some point. But also, it's almost like there's a third party, obviously, because where did they go? Someone came and picked them up in a car, ran them off the road or something like that. And that feels like a male. I mean, it feels like someone that connects to. So I don't know. I'd be curious about the ex, but also there's drugs that's surrounding this. There's alcohol that's surrounding this. There's bad habits. Someone that's always partying. So I'd like to know if that's the mom that was being checked out, or that's an ex of hers. I don't know. This is like, these cards are really confusing, and I'm not getting a whole lot. I'm getting bits and pieces. So when I tap in, I'll get more. So I know that it's not the best reading. I know that it's not like, okay, this is exactly what happened. I know it's kind of all over the place, but I can only give you guys what I get. I can only give you guys what I'm told and shown with the cards. It feels like there's a lot surrounding this, a lot more surrounding it than we realize. Like maybe some drama is what I'm hearing. But it definitely feels like someone's being stalked and watched, and there's some kind of, they're upset over a breakup. They're upset over something like that. And then I feel like there was a fight between these two women. Like, they don't know each other very well, but it's almost, I don't know if she was like a social worker or someone that was going to check on the kids. That's what I heard today. That's the only thing that I know about it, is that they weren't really friends, but she was going with her to, like, I don't know if it's like do a home check, CPS check, something of that sort. And it's almost like that was part of the reason behind this, because I keep pulling up the child card. So it feels like I'd be curious who the baby's dad is and the ex is, or if there's someone that she rejected. But also, these two girls, there was a girl fight, there was argument. And again, I wonder who is having issues with substances, because that's all in the reading. Substances, poison substances. So, the bad habit card was the first card that came out. So there's someone with bad habits. So I'm supposed to get more cards tomorrow, but they're people cards and location cards. Sorry. Without either doing an auto, because I don't get a lot of information when I'm just talking to you guys. I mean, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. This one feels like there's so much confusion around it that I'm struggling with it a little bit. So I'm going to have to get in deeper. So this is not the full story. This is not the full everything. I was just curious. I wanted to pull cards. I don't even know if I'm going to release it to you guys yet. I might add it once I do the mediumship, but, I'll either need to use a sitter or do an auto write. And what's really bugging me is my mind keeps going to one of the girls, and it's like one's alive and one's not, or something of that sort. Like, or the inside job and the setup and the wolf in sheep's clothing is worrying me a little bit. If you guys can get my drift on that. Not saying that she's involved. I'm not pointing fingers at anybody. Those are the cards that I pulled, and those, you can only take those a certain way. This is obviously someone that if it's not her involved, it's someone that knows her. So I don't know. It's either going to take an auto write or a regular reading to try to get more information on this, but this is what I got now, and I don't know. So this is a confusing one. It feels like there's a lot surrounding it, and I do hear women fighting. I do hear, so that girl fight card is interesting because it does come across as there was some kind of argument, some kind of something. And I just wonder who was struggling. But it's almost like someone did pull up in another car, or ran them off the road or whatever. But that feels like a male, and it would be a tall male or a big male. From what the cards are saying, but it feels like it's either a parental figure to their child, or he has a child. So, you could take those cards. Again, cards are all in how you perceive them. You could take it as he's a dad type figure and he has a family, or he's connected to, her kids and he's her family. So that's I'm not really sure about. So I don't know. I might, I don't know what I'm going to do with this video right now. So if you see it, you see it. If you don't, you don't. And I'm not really sure, because people are going to be like, oh, yeah, you're not really saying what happened. I got in, I can only give you guys what I'm given. And it seems like I'm getting bits and pieces right now, and bits and pieces with the cards. So my cards seem to be accurate in every reading that I've done. They've always aligned with my readings, and they've always been more accurate than I was some of the time, because they don't put my mind into it. So, they were accurate with Savannah and Matthew, where I was kind of off on that, unless there's connections we don't know about. So, they are usually accurate with things surrounding the case. It's something I'm still learning to grasp and still learning to get impressions on and stuff like that, and figure out how the cards flow and what they mean. I do them a little different than the other people that I know that pull cards. A lot of people don't split them up the way that I do, but I like to do it that way, and it works that well. It works that way for me. So I don't know. And her name is Jilian. I'm sorry, I probably said her name wrong the whole time. So, anyway, so I had just had a few things I needed to add because I realized I didn't pull these cards. Sorry. And usually you're only supposed to pull 3 of these, but these all seem pretty accurate. And then I'm going to give my final thoughts on this. And again, it's going to take a mediumship reading, but killer sustained a wound during the murder. The murder weapon will provide valuable clues. Need to interview more suspects. In the future, the killer may admit guilt. Witnesses may not be fully disclosing all of the facts. Cell phone records may provide important clues, which makes sense because of the message and on the digital and all that came in. Social media will provide valuable clues. If he was stalking or whatever, that makes sense. Jealousy, an affair, or love-related crime. So we got the crime of passion and all of that. So honestly, it feels like an ex of the red, the girl with the red hair. I believe that's Veronica. I believe that's the mom. It feels like it's related to her ex because we have the parental figure to the child. And I don't know if I'm seeing her because it's related to her or not. But there might have been somebody else involved that helped him, like a friend or something like that, because we have a friend acquaintance, we have multiple people involved. So it could possibly be that, there's a lot surrounding this. Obviously, she was being watched, she was being stalked. I feel like maybe there was also a girl fight at some point. I don't know like how well these two got along, or if there was just some sort of they weren't getting along about something, and it could have been any sort of fight along the way. What's throwing me is the wolf in sheep's clothing, the inside job, and the setup. So it's hard to say without a mediumship reading. Now, it's like I keep seeing a body very close to the road, off the side of the road, but then I also keep getting a reference to like the house she was going to or a residence. There's a reference to a farm and a residence for some reason. So I don't know. I'm not really sure about the mom, but it feels like, that's where the legal proceedings come in, is the custody issues and stuff. If there was custody issues, the legal proceedings are coming in. But again, I keep getting that reptilian, someone that's an addict, someone that's, addict and alcoholic, someone that may have a temper. I get dark hair with this person, but also taller, bigger, and that could just be bigger than them. But for some reason, it feels like, I don't know if he got somebody else to help him or what, but it feels like because there's a friend. So that could also be like the parental figure and a friend, or, they were still friends, or they were still getting along, or it was a friend of Jilian. No, I don't think that's right. Parental figure and friend. So that could mean, I don't know if they were, a friend could know about it, or I don't know if they were still friends in some aspect, but it feels like that there was jealousy, crime of passion, affair, stalking. There's all of that kind of obsessive feeling energy around it. And if he thought maybe, legal proceedings also, so this is just I think the cops know. I think they know more than, and that's why they want everybody to be quiet about it, is they know something about it. So again, I'd have to kind of tap in. I keep seeing like a 2-lane highway, a lot of dirt, some brush. It's almost like a road goes like this, like almost like a crossroad, like we were turned down. There's reference to like somebody there. I want to say it's Jilian. And then I keep getting a reference. For some reason, I don't feel like I'm not getting them together. Whether that was like, let me get rid of the witness and keep the baby mom for a little bit. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure why it feels like there's only one energy there. And then I want to go to like a farm or a residence of some sort. for some reason. So again, these are just bits. This is just bits and pieces. This is not the full story. And I won't get the full story till I go ahead and tap fully in, but it comes across as this was not a stranger. This is somebody involved in her life in some aspect, shape, or form. And it feels like it revolves. It feels like the blonde Jillian is more of like wrong place, wrong time in this situation. And that I wonder who drives a truck, because there's a reference to like a truck or a bigger vehicle that's coming in that maybe like ran them off the road. That could be like the hit and run or pulled them over in some aspect. But it's almost like she was put in unfortunately, Jillian was trying to be a good person and she was put into this situation. And so I guess I misunderstood as far as I thought it was someone that was related to like the DCFS or whatever, the child services, but actually she was going there for protection. Someone corrected me on that. So the more that I tap in, the more I walked around and kind of like, I need to kind of figure this out a little bit more. It's almost like she's put into the situation trying to do a good thing. And that could be where the church comes in, because I guess she's connected to the church. So that could be why it came in. I put the church into the location cards because sometimes there's a location near a church. But it can also mean, you know, I guess she was like a pastor's wife or something. Someone just told me that. So that could be why the church, because I asked somebody, because I was like, I don't know if this makes any sense, because it feels like it's kind of all over the place. So, you know, this feels like an angry baby daddy ex, but there seems to be more than one person involved in some way. It comes across that way. But definitely someone with habits. And I keep seeing I keep hearing like a truck or something like that. But it's almost like the poor Jillian, she was trying to do a good thing and she was like wrong place, wrong time. And I think maybe I hate to say, maybe have paid the price for it. I don't know why. It's like I feel like they're separated for some reason. So I don't know. I don't really know what that means. So again, these are just random visions that I'm getting that I'm telling you guys about, and kind of like trying to put all of the cards together. Cards are sometimes hard to perceive in the way that they come across, but I think they kind of speak for themselves. So until I do mediumship reading, I can't like say for sure, but I want to get something out there. It feels like something's going to come from this soon. And again, this would be someone that like, I feel like maybe he didn't ever get over her, or they had an affair at some point, because that comes in. But then we have the crime of passion. So it does dating at one point. So it does feel like it's an ex. And then we have the parental figure. And I don't know if he has darker hair, darker features, but we have the parental figure to the child coming in. And also we have that one card with the red-haired woman, and then the guy standing behind her with the mask. I thought that was just so creepy and so interesting. Like someone in the background that's watching and planning and all of that. Just the inside job and the setup kind of throws me, but that could be like someone she knew. So it's not a stranger. You know, it's someone I want to connect it to the Reddit. I want to connect. I'm guessing it's Veronica. I want to connect it to her. It's almost like Jillian was an innocent bystander in all this. The inside job and the setup could be like, also he knew that she was coming for the kids, so he knew the road she was going to be on. So, you know, that it can be that as well. Like, and the guy in that card with the red-haired woman, he has dark hair. So I'd just be curious. I don't know what that guy looks like, but I'm sure the cops are already looking at the ex and whatnot, or the children's father, because there's definitely alcohol, drug issues in the past or currently. There's anger issues, abuse and neglect. All of that comes in around this guy. And then I don't know what they got in an argument over or something. But again, the setup and the inside job could be like somebody that she knew. You know, I could have been kind of perceiving that before. Like, this is someone that she knew. And it was set up like, I know you're coming out here, so I know what road you're going to be on. I know where you're going to be at. And I do feel like, you know, there was a weapon that was used to subdue them. There was, you know, someone was assaulted. I don't think they were unalive there, but definitely taken from there. But it's like I keep getting a shadow of another person and I don't know who it is. But that's kind of interesting because a multiple thing came involved. But it could be someone that's younger too. But because the child card came in multiple times. So sometimes that's a younger energy. But this does feel like an ex or dad. Allegedly. That's connected to the child. Like, this feels like, you know, I knew where you're going to be and all of that. So, perfect place to do this at. Wolf in sheep's clothing. So, I don't know if I'm seeing Veronica because it's like that. It's connected to her. I'll just leave it at that until I do mediumship reading. I don't want to assume anything or misperceive anything. So, all right, I'm going to add this to the reading. Thanks a lot. I will see you guys next time.